eat it. Welcome back, Cowboys cast crew, to another week, another win. Um,
I'm getting used to this, man.
Yeah.
We're winning
we're winning.
every week. Can't complain. Life is good.
Life is real good, but life is good with a couple of bumps in the road.
Of course.
This win was kind of bumpy, but we can't blame them. We've had 3 games in 12 games on the road.
Yeah. And like I said, man, it's better to be good than lucky. And Super Bowl teams need these wins. You know what I mean? Super Bowl teams find a way to win, and we find a way to win. It looks bad. I think the constant thing that we always kind of do is Dak. You know what I mean? Dak's like been our low point, man. And again, I think in this game, it kind of highlighted his struggles, given one of them wasn't really his fault. But then again,
He had 2 turnovers.
2 turnovers.
That were his.
He's had a turnover every week
since I think he came back from his thumb injury.
Yeah, and there were some alarming stats that came out a couple days ago, just about his throw to interception ratio being high. I think he has a higher throw to interception ratio than Dougie Mills. I think he has the same throw to interception ratio as Matt Ryan. That's not good.
It's not good. And speaking on that turnover thing, I think he has the most interceptions of the year, or tied to second, not too sure. But it's bad because he's only been back. He was hurt for 4 or 5 weeks, right? So you're throwing interceptions at an alarming rate, which is bad when you go up in the playoffs against really good teams.
And like we said before, man, once we get going against a better team, we can't do that.
No, we can't.
It's just things that we can't do.
And that's what I was letting you know about earlier today. It's I don't know, 2 sides to the story. Dak needs to start getting his motion and, like, you know what I mean? Like, stop throwing interceptions and start getting in playoff mode, because this is when you need to tighten up those loose ends and not make those turnovers.
That's the difference between a winner or a loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And at the same time, it's like, I feel like he shouldn't worry too much about him because we're not in the playoffs yet. So hopefully in the playoffs, he's like, okay, I gotta stop making stupid mistakes.
They gotta tighten it up.
Aha. Right there. You know what I mean?
Good one.
Right there.
That was all him.
Boom. But you know what I mean? It's I don't want to be too critical of Dak. He should stop making stupid mistakes. But at the same time, if he stops making those mistakes in the playoffs, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. And time will tell. You know what I mean? Time will tell, because you know what? Clock's ticking, man. If Dak keeps on making these mistakes, we go to the playoffs, we're one and done, and he still has a couple turnovers, we got to start looking for options elsewhere.
No, yeah.
We got to start cleaning house. Like, get out of here, man. This is it. This is your best chance.
If he does this year one and done, I think we should get rid of him already.
Yep.
And I've been saying that I love Dak as a great dude or whatever it is. But just because you're a great dude doesn't make you a great quarterback, you know? And we got to get over the hump of him being a great dude for our team and get a great quarterback.
Yeah. Like we said, man, I'd rather have, a guy who may be a little bit of an asshole or has a checkered past or whatever, and we win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, just totally off topic. Raiders, Derek Carr, they're saying him out or whatever it is. If you take Derek Carr's first year as a rookie out and his last year right now out, he's a really good quarterback. I'm not saying I want him, but I'm just saying, like, he's had 6 different quarterbacks and he's been really good. So is that maybe a possible answer for getting Dak out of here? You know what I mean? Take Dak, take Zeke, ship him out, get Derek Carr and Devontae Adams.
Ooh, I don't know if we want Derek Carr, man. He's not even allowed in the Raiders building.
But I'm just saying, imagine that duel right there. Derek Carr with Devontae Adams, a good coaching staff, a good O-line, with CeeDee Lamb, with Michael Parsons.
It sounds good, man.
It sounds good. I'm not saying that I'm in love with Derek Carr, but it's an option right there, you know?
Options.
It's an option. We got options. That's what we got to look at forward, future options. Because if it's not Derek Carr, who would you choose? You tell me that.
I mean, I've always kind of said we have to break the bank, because I wouldn't want Derek Carr. I'd want somebody established, somebody a little bit more established, somebody who really kind of prove themselves. And I don't know, man. Do we take a stab at hiring one of these? Drop my pen.
What
I was trying to say is like Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. That's what I really think. Aaron Rodgers, Tom
I was
Brady,
about to say Aaron
those
Rodgers.
people are going to be established, and that's what my answer would be. But that would have to be established through like aggressive offseason. You know what I mean? We'd have to make some aggressive offseason moves and have a general management team in place that's willing to kind of see which teams, would be willing to take some of our contracts that are really heavy handed. You know what I mean? We got Dak Prescott, we got Zeke, we got a lot of people with a lot of money. We got to find somebody who's willing to pay them, because if they're still on our books next year and we have the same results that we had in the years past, we're kind of screwed. We got really nothing going for us, and we're going to be falling to the same rut. And like we said earlier, it was great, but that's what I would do, man. I would have to look at the list, do a little bit due diligence. But I know a couple of big time rookie contracts are going to be coming up. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow,
Lamar
Aaron
Jackson.
Rodgers, Lamar Jackson.
You said rookie contract, and you said Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Just
you're
saying.
right. You're absolutely right. So not rookie contracts, but there'll be contracts that are going to be coming up. You know what I mean? And like those are some that
And I mean,
really catch my eye. And we're the Dallas Cowboys, man. We got the biggest bank.
Yeah.
Speaking
of free agency, sorry to cut you off there.
No.
And you're saying free agency, and I hate this dude, and he knows how much I hate this dude. Tom Brady. I do not like the dude.
Tom Brady with a Cowboys jersey.
He's a good player. He's a great player. But since you're talking about free agency and all this scenarios,
yeah.
Speaking of that, what if we get their linebacker and Tom Brady?
Which linebacker?
David, I think his name is.
Yeah, Devontae David.
There you go.
He's good.
Him, pair him up with Michael Parsons, get Tom Brady, and send Zeke and Dak over there.
I mean, that's a good answer.
You're gonna dump off Dak's salary. You're gonna dump off Zeke's salary. You're gonna get Tom Brady, and you know how much he loves to take really low money to get a great team around him, and then you get David with Michael Parsons. Does that? You know what I mean? I'm flabbergasted. Doesn't that sound like a great matchup right there?
No, it's good. It's good, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, you said we need a veteran.
No, we do need a veteran. We do need a veteran, but like the only reason I'm like, dude, because we're still good. We could still win the Super Bowl this year, man.
Yeah, we can still win it, but we're just talking way ahead.
Yeah, way ahead.
It's because I think we're being really critical of Dak because he's gotten us to this point multiple times, but he needs to get over that hump.
And we see the same thing over
and over
and over again.
And over.
Just like over and over, this little corner of my eyebrow keeps
twitching.
It's oh my Lord, it's getting me so upset.
But let me pull up some notes that I did. So the thing is that one of the notes I made is that I feel like we're the only team that gets criticized when we don't win by 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We either have to beat every team by a lot or we can't win a close game. And then every other team gets praised of like they won a close game. That's what winners do and this and that. So I feel like as Cowboys fans, we're passionate and we want to win. And that's why we're so picky. But at the same time, we have to be happy with the win and see that we did pull out a tough win.
Oh, yeah. And I think the answer that I always have for that is like, man, we're the Dallas Cowboys, man. We're supposed to win.
Yes,
we're supposed to kick ass, and people love to see us fail. You know what I mean?
They
Sometimes
do.
like,
and let me compare to like what my point was going is that the best NFC team could be the Cowboys, Eagles, either or, and then in the AFC it's the Bills or the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
So speaking on the Bills, they've had really, really close wins, and nobody talks about them. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody throws them shade. Nothing. They barely beat the Baltimore Ravens 23-20, and then they lost against the Jets 2017.
The Jets.
They lost against the Vikings 33-30 in overtime when we put a beating on them. And then they barely beat the Detroit Lions 28-25. You know, how come nobody talks about them? But then when we barely beat the Texans, everyone's like, you guys barely beat Davis Mills and blah, 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 and this and that. And you guys barely beat the Titans with people hurt. And you know what I mean? But give us a break. We've had 3 games in 12 days.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is, dude. You're absolutely right. I think that's a great point. But I think it's just the expectation that, you know, we're the Dallas Cowboys and dude, our fans, including me, every year, I'm like, dude, this is it. And I feel like this is it.
It's really, really close.
But we keep making certain mistakes that we just can't make.
I think we've talked about this before, too. I think we've talked about it in our videos before. Every aspect in our game is top tier, and our weakest link is number 4. Which,
Yeah.
sad to say, it's number 4.
Yeah.
We have a great defense. We have the most turnovers in the NFL. So we can get points if Dak puts on the pressure.
Yeah.
We got a great offense. We got a number 1 in CeeDee Lamb. We got T.Y. Hilton has been a godsend.
T.Y. Hilton's been really good on the offense, man. He's opened up a lot of things. CD's had a couple more games, like some of his best games that he's ever had. And I think that's a direct result of having, 16 lined up right there.
We got 3 tight ends. We got Pollard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything's going really well. So why can't we win it this year? You know what I mean?
This is the year. This is the year. This is the year, like we said before, the Niners don't really have they're a very complete team, but they don't have that,
that
stellar quarterback that they would have, either Trey Lance, Jimmy G, or now this Purdy guy.
And Purdy's doing pretty good.
And then we got Green Bay, you know what I mean, sneaking up. Like I said a couple weeks ago, if a couple things happen this week, we could definitely see them in the playoffs. That's not good.
Rodgers loves killing the Cowboys.
Cowboy killer, man, so everything's still ahead of us, but it's interesting, guys. I'm really, I'm happy. We're playing meaningful football. It's freaking New Year's.
And speaking of the happiness, we haven't had a 12-win back-to-back season since 94-95.
Hey.
What if that's great things to come?
Yeah. But with that said, looking ahead, if Big Mike McCarthy doesn't win a Super Bowl,
he's out of here.
Right?
He's out of here.
What are we thinking, guys? Get him out?
Even if he wins, I still say get him out of here.
Yeah. I think so too.
I feel like we're winning in spite of McCarthy and not because of him.
Very good point.
Because how is this his second season or third season?
Second, I believe.
No, third.
Yeah.
Because he did the 2020 with us.
Yeah, that's right. But that year was such a weird year.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like in 3 years, and we're winning in spite of you. And if you get us to the Super Bowl and you win, I still say you're out of here. And go get Sean Payton and Vic Fangio. That's a great team. Sean Payton has always been wanting to come back, and we missed out on the sweepstakes when we went for Garrett. And what did Garrett give us? 8-8.
Yeah, every year.
8-8.
Clapping.
Yeah, Coach Clapper.
Yeah, man.
No, we don't need none of that. We need Sean Payton, his hard-hitting style, his dog mentality. Because if he's a dog mentality, he's going to get a quarterback that's a dog mentality.
Yeah, and then you know what? That might just solve all the problems.
It might. And speaking of just scenarios, as we were saying, just random things, I have another little rumor that was going around. T.O. and his camp was saying that they want to come back to the Cowboys, and it was just joking around over here. And it's like, a question to the fans first: would you guys want T.O. or Des back? I'll let you simmer on that. Think about it. Spend the New Year's resolution or whatever you want to say. Think about that. But I was telling him that T.O. is fundamentally Hall of Famer good.
Yeah, but I told him he's 50 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a young man's game, dude. He's going to be lined up in someone who was born in 2002.
Yeah.
But
like his routes, that's all that counts.
I mean,
but think about this: CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, T.Y. Hilton, and then T.O. Wow.
I mean, it'd be a sight to see. It would be a sight to see, but
you got Dalton Schultz, Hendershot, Ferguson, Pollard, Zeke. Wow.
It would be good, but I mean, he's old as hell.
I mean, don't force him the ball.
He's old as hell, man.
But he's old, but he does run a 40-yard dash in like 4.6 seconds.
Dude, have someone take out his ankle and let's see if he can run that 4.4 again. You know what I mean?
He played a Super Bowl with a broken ankle
20 years ago.
He still did it.
Yeah, he still did. That was
who was the only player besides him that has played broken?
Alex Mack.
What did he break?
He was a center for the Falcons, and he literally broke his fibula, and he was just like.
And then
they lost.
Other than him. Exactly. Exactly. So these guys are dogs.
Yeah, no, they're dogs. They're dogs. But it's gonna be interesting to see, man. Lots of good what ifs. Lots of crazy things that are going to happen. We're going to close out the year with the Commanders. And the good thing about this kind of schedule is we've been on the road for quite some time. And we're going to continue that going to the road. We're going to go to the Commanders. And then we're going to hit the road in the playoffs and see who we match up in the playoffs.
Yeah. And you got to give it to the Cowboys, too, because we've been on the road 3 games. Were we 3 games on the road? It was the Titans, Commanders, and then last week against the Jaguars.
Yep.
So it's been 3 road games, and then we're still gonna go on the road in the playoffs.
I think that we have a really tight group, man.
We
Like,
do.
I'm really, really excited
So
about it.
speaking of, like Dak said it too, they're resilient. They're resilient as hell.
Yeah.
But he has to stop making those mistakes. If he stops making those mistakes, I feel like we're gonna be really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't need to throw for 400 yards.
But I
Just
think
don't make
that's,
mistakes.
you know what? A lot of it definitely does. You know, we can point the fingers at Dak and stuff too, and you know, rightfully so. But I've always kind of tried to stay consistent with my criticism, and I've always said the shit rolls downhill. And I feel like a lot of the mistakes that maybe Dak Prescott makes are, like, you know, we're calling certain plays that, is it too much for him? Is it, can he not make the throws? Is it Kellen Moore's ego that he wants to gain more yards, more things? But it's been pretty efficient statistically, you know what I mean? But I just don't think those stats have really translated to wins on the field. And because of that, we're just kind of left in this really weird limbo. You know what I mean? Like, is he good? Is he great? Is he mediocre? Who knows? But we just have such a good team right now, man, that we really can't be we got no time to waste. You know what I mean? We don't got no time to waste. This is it. I don't think the conditions that are around right now are going to be around next year.
Definitely not.
You know, the teammates,
so many
the coaches, the players, positions, decisions are going to be made. We're going to be we're going to be a completely different team next year.
Yeah,
you know what
Peters
I mean?
is gone next year.
Yeah, and then like so's the NFL. The NFL is going to be completely different next year as it is every year, you know? So it's going to be really, really awesome to see. But the good thing is that we still got a couple weeks of football left, boys. We at least got 2. We'll see where it goes from there. You know what I mean?
Next week.
Tune in next week.
Next week, because we got 10 days off.
Yeah, 10 days off for rest, which I think is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get healthy. Make sure our line kid's good. Make sure our center, 63, what is his name? Vidaz or whatever? Biotic.
So he needs to get back, you know. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. Tune in 10 days. Let's see how we do.
But first,
pray for an Eagles loss.
Yeah, we can, dude. We haven't even talked about that. We can still get first in the division.
Pray for an Eagles loss, and then
they need to lose the next 2 weeks.
Games. Yeah, but at least this game, so we can look something forward to next week.
Yep, gotta start first things first,
and then we'll go from there.
Yeah,
or at least the Vikings win out and Eagles lose 1.
That's
another scenario. Can you even take a shot with that mask?
What's up?
Can you even take a shot in the mask?
A little one, dude. I could do it. We're trying to do something, you know, because it's
Bringing in the New Year's.
Make it a tiny one, bro. Because I feel like I'm gonna throw up already, anyways. My stomach is jacked. There it is, perfect.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, buddy. Cowboys. I can't. I can't take it.
It didn't go through.
It didn't go through. Well, good. I'll do it off camera. Go Cowboys.
Go Cavs.
All right, dude. Holiday.